Well, greetings from Mom and Dad at 314 North Delaware in Hobart. Merry Christmas to you all.
Merry Christmas.
Ho, 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 and all that. We're not very good at making tapes. We're a couple of duds, but we decided to try to surprise you, and so bear with us, and we'll see how we go on this. If we don't flub up too much, why, you'll get the tape. We're feeling good, both of us. Daddy got new glasses. He felt like his eyes needed something stronger, and they did. So he's got real nice looking glasses, and he can see better. And so we've been doing a lot of decorating around the house. I guess we've done more decorating this year than we ever have, but we've got the time to do it, too. Daddy wants to tell you a few things, so we'll pass this back and forth.
We've had a cold spell the other night. Last night it got fairly cold, about 16 degrees this morning. We had some snow during the night, and about an inch, I guess, of snow on the ground this morning, if that much. But it's pretty well melted away by now. The sun came out this afternoon, and later this morning, the sun came out, and it's pretty well melted all the snow by now.
As of now, we don't know just who's going to be here or when we're going to celebrate Christmas or what we're going to do. But Ellen and Randy are down in Kentucky right now. They went down Thursday, and then they're coming back today, Saturday sometime. And I think Randy was going to finish up some work he had started down there in his parents' new house. And they were also celebrating Christmas. Ruth and Rick and their children were down there, so they were going to celebrate Christmas, at Polk's this weekend. And so Ellen and Randy will be in town on Christmas, but we don't know if they'll see. Wednesday night is Christmas Eve, so Ellen and Randy will be at church, I guess, the earlier part of the evening, and then Daddy and I still sing in the choir, and we'll be singing at midnight mass, where we leave here about 10:30. So we don't know when Mary and Janie are coming. They're both coming, but at what time or for how long, we don't have any idea at this time. Janie has been working 6 full days every week, and she is not too crazy about this job. I mean, I think the pay is pretty good, and benefits are excellent, and I'm not sure what the problem is. I mean, she seems to get along with her immediate supervisor real well, and all the girls in the office. She works like in a branch office, and every Saturday then, she goes to the main office in downtown Indianapolis and works down there. But the problem is the workload must be so heavy, and they're always on these girls, for more and more work. And Janie said we're all just coming in early, working overtime, and staying late, taking work home, and still, cannot keep up the work. And she said, I don't think Janie knows for sure yet who she's working for, but she said the first of the year, the state of Indiana is taking over their, she works for the food stamp program. And the state of Indiana is apparently taking over all the food stamp programs, which I guess up right now and all along in the past, they have been handled by the various counties. So evidently she's been working for Marion County. And the story that's coming down to these girls is that the first of the year, the state of Indiana will be their boss, and they're going to get rid of all of them and get new people that'll keep the work up. And Janie says, if you think that thing through, why, we're the guys that have been doing the work all along, and we're more familiar with it, and how are they going to improve the thing if if they get rid of all of us, and start with new people who are not familiar with it. So I think she's pretty upset and disturbed about this job. She doesn't kind of know what to do about it. And apparently she's getting along very well with Jim. I think we told you we did meet him when we went down to Indianapolis for Mike's play. Maybe Daddy will tell you a little bit about the play, Jane, Celeste, and our trip down there and all.
It was a Thanksgiving play. Mike was one of the pilgrims in it. It was very, very well done. I took some movies of it, and they turned out pretty good. There was a fellow there, and he took a videotape of it, but it didn't turn out, and Mary Margaret said. So my movies turned out fairly well on it, though, so she's glad to hear that, we'll at least have that of it anyway.
The school where Mike goes to, St. Monica's, it's a little a private school. In fact, it's in the same building as the church, and I think there's only like 16 or 18 kids in Mike's class. And so they had the play down in there. They have a large cafeteria, which is the basement under the whole works, the church and the school and everything. And in one corner of this basement, they had a portable stage, and it worked fine. It's large. It's a good size, and so they had costumes. They dressed like the pilgrims, the wide white collars and caps, like you'd see pictures in books of the early pilgrims and the Indians. And the Indians came to visit the pilgrims, and how they were trying to be friendly, and they did a little singing, and so Mike had a pretty good part in it, and none of them seemed to, flub up or anything. They were very outgoing, and it was kind of nice. At the last minute, Ellen decided to go down with us. Ellen has never been to Indianapolis since, Janie's living in a different apartment, and then since Mary got down there, which is over a year ago. So it was kind of cute. On the day before we were going to go, why Ellen and Randy came in, and Ellen said, "Are you still going down to Indianapolis tomorrow?" And we said, "Yeah, but we're just going down, and we're going down Tuesday." And then the play was Wednesday morning, and then Wednesday afternoon we're coming right back because it was Thanksgiving Eve, and then they were coming up here the Thanksgiving Wednesday evening, so Daddy and I wanted to get back. And Ellen says, "Well, how would you like some company?" And Daddy and I said, "Well, swell, that's fine, So Mary and Mike and Janie didn't know that she was coming along, she just rode down with us. And so we walked in and surprised Mary, and then we, Daddy, Mary and Ellen went to school and picked him up after school, and so we saw, but it was on the day of the play, Wednesday morning at 10:30. Mike's big brother Bruce took off work and came for that, and we met Bruce. He's a real nice, very tall, and very a very easy-going man, very easy to talk to, and very much interested in children, and especially in Mike. And he was taking pictures, and Mary said that he gave Mike the set, had an extra set made and gave them to Mike. And then Janie took off work, as busy as they were, she took off just long enough to come over for the play and then go on back to work. And then shortly after that, Ellen and Daddy and I went back to the apartment and changed clothes, and we left. It was bad. It was kind of rainy that day. So, wait a minute. Here's Daddy.
I wanted to say something about this play. The children are mostly Negroes in the school there, and they have quite a few Negro pilgrims in it, and look kind of funny in a way. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Well, at any rate, what happened, Janie had to work till 5 o'clock on that Wednesday on Thanksgiving Eve, so Mary, none of us wanted her driving up here by herself, and she did want to come on Wednesday rather than waiting until Thursday. And so Ellen drove Mike up in Mary's car, and then we drove our own car. And then later, after Janie got off of work, Mary and Janie got in here about 8:30 Wednesday night. But Janie is really crazy about Jim. I mean, he went home to, he does not live in Aurora. His family lives on a farm, and it must be a big farm, a big pig farm. And, you should hear Janie go on about all the pigs, the little baby pigs, and she has seen them, and she said rows and rows of little pig houses, and this tickles her to death, But he decided to go home for Thanksgiving, be with his family, and she wanted to come up here. And somehow, Mary said, I think Janie thought he was going to call her on Thanksgiving, and he didn't call Thanksgiving, he didn't call Friday, so Saturday about noon he called, and he was already back in Indianapolis, and she grabbed some lunch so quick and packed her things, and she got out of here just like she was shot out of a cannon, So he had the rest of the weekend off. In fact, he was between jobs, and so they're seeing a lot of each other, and I don't know what's going there, but she said he does want to come up here, like to see us, and whether they're going to come before Christmas or after or on Christmas, we don't know. Mike gets out of school on the 19th, which is that Friday before Christmas, and Mary and the girls, Marilyn and Kathy and Mary Williams and all, they want Mary to come up there for a Christmas celebration and exchange gifts on that Friday night. So we talked to Mary yesterday, and she said, I don't know yet what I'm going to do. She said if I'll come up here on that Friday when Mike gets out of school, or then go back, or stay around here. She's not sure yet. Just Christmas isn't until the following Thursday. So things are just kind of up in the air about our plans, but we'll all get together. And another thing I wanted to tell you, Ellen did get the proofs of the pictures, the Olin Mills pictures, and she got them to us, and Daddy and I took them out to Olin Mills, and there was a real nice lady out there, and we told her what happened, and she said, I'm not even going to take your proofs. She said, I'll copy the numbers off the back of them, and she said, in view of what's happened, that these people down there in South America didn't even get the pictures after they, ordered them and you mailed them and all. Excuse me. So she said, I'll just copy the numbers. And she said, I'm going to put a rush on it. What we're doing, Celeste and Paul, we have an Olin Mills picture of you 4 girls and one of Daddy and me, an 8 by 10 picture, and we haven't framed them. I mean, we're coming to the point where we're getting a little bit crowded. Yeah, we're having a hard time finding a place to put all the pictures. So what we're doing, we ordered a picture of the group. That group picture that was taken when you all were here in September of '85 before you left for South America. And they're making up a duplicate of the group picture. And then Daddy and I are going to send that one along with the picture of you 4 girls and the picture of Daddy and me. And we'll airmail that to you right away as soon as we get it. Now, the lady at Olin Mills, she says, I'm going to mark a Christmas rush on it. She said, you may or may not get it before Christmas, but as soon as we get it, we're going to airmail it immediately to you. I doubt you can get it by Christmas because we may not. But you can be watching for it, and it'll be the 3 pictures, and so we gave Ellen's proofs back to her. She's got them. Just a minute. How's everything in your lives? I imagine you're busy. You're always busy. are your Christmas plans? Somewhat maybe like last year, or things are... Okay, we're back. One thing I want to tell you, I may have written it in a letter, about your movies. I think I did write it to you, but I just want to be sure you know. We did get both movies. We saw them, but Mary and Janie haven't seen them. At the time that they were here at Thanksgiving, Daddy had those movies being put onto a videotape, and he thought he would just add to it each time you have movies and send them home. So Celeste or Mary and Janie did not get to see them. Now we have them back from the video thing, but the videotape did not come out good. The colors are quite faded. You can make out persons, but it was
darker pictures than it was in the film itself. The tape pictures on a tape are darker than the film, and you can't see them as well.
No, it's not good. So we decided we'll keep the movies until Mary and Janie see them, which will be maybe before Christmas or Christmas, and then Christmas Day we'll airmail your movies to your parents, Paul, and they should have them, going airmail the day after Christmas. They ought to have them in a couple of days, and your parents wrote and said that they were planning to return back to Chile on the 4th of January, so that way they will hand deliver your movies to you, and we don't have to worry that maybe they won't get there, something might happen with the mail. Just so you know. What's Daniel doing these days? What's he up to? Probably busy exploring and checking out and trying to live with his curiosity and learning more all the time. How's he doing with words? Is he saying any more words? Then let Daddy say something here.
Sure is getting big, isn't he? We sure would like to see that little rascal one of these days. Tell him Big Al said hello. Big Al to Little Al, huh?
Stop it.
We're back in the choir again. We're going to sing at midnight mass, Christmas Eve night.
And it being Wednesday night, Ellen and Randy will be at church earlier in the evening, and then we'll leave about 10:30. So as of now, we don't know just what. Maybe we'll all be here on Christmas afternoon, to celebrate.
Unless Randy has to go to work.
Yeah. Randy's not feeling too good these days. I mean, so we're praying that he can get straightened out. This is a worry for him and for Ellen too, because, well, they know that the heart is involved, and he does have allergies. They probably wrote and told you, and it's to animal hair. They the two of them just love that little dog so much, and he is a good little dog, he's just a real important part of their lives, and it'll be between 6 months and a year before they'll have any medicine available to give to Randy to help him fight off the effects of the allergy, with the dog hair. So we're just praying that they can get to the right doctor or get help for Randy and get him feeling better, you know. And Ellen's still going to Dr. Kamak, the gynecologist, and I think Ellen's feeling pretty good, but they just want a family so bad, and so we don't understand God's ways, so we keep praying, and you know, things will work out, we're sure. How's everything in your family, Paul? Are they all well? Will you get to see any of them for the holidays?
We got a letter from your mother and dad last week, and they seem to be doing pretty good as far as their... I think they're going back in January, aren't they?
Yeah, January the 4th, they said. And, have you all been hearing, getting any news down there about the, in this country they're calling it the, well, there's all kinds of ridiculous names they're calling it, but a few weeks ago, President Reagan made the statement on national television that he did authorize the shipment of arms to Iran, and he was doing it in the thought that, you know, this would cause those Iranian terrorists to release the Americans who are held prisoners over there in Iran. And when he got up and made that statement on national television, well, the American people didn't like it at all, and I guess it wasn't only the Americans. It seems like around the world the American image dropped pretty low. But as time has gone on in the few weeks, it has come out that the money that was received for the American arms that were sent to Iran, they call it, the money was laundered. It was funneled through a Swiss bank account, and that money was sent to the Nicaraguan Contras. Reagan wants to help the Contras, and he's doing everything he can to help them. And now there is a great big furor in Washington. I mean, several of Reagan's cabinet have resigned, and Reagan's image is very, very low. I mean, the American people have really, at least the television and the newspapers say that the country is just very opposed to him having done anything like that. So there's hearings going on every day in Washington. And another thing, you see, the elections that we had in November, it was not a presidential year election, but a lot of senators and congressmen were elected. And now, while Reagan's a Republican, he has, beginning the 1st of January, he has a Democratic-dominated Congress and Senate. In other words, he's now the lame duck president because he does not control either house. Both Senate and Congress are controlled by the Democrats, and he is Republican, so he's going to have a rough time of it. I mean, there is just so much, and many of these men are coming up. They're called before a hearing committee, and they're all taking the Fifth Amendment. They will not tell what they know about this money that was funneled through the Swiss bank account for the arms that were sent to Iran. So there's a lot going on these days politically in this country. How it's all going to wind up, why, only time will tell. And Paul, you may have heard, or you would be interested in knowing that, who is the football player?
Jim McMahon.
Yeah. You want to tell him about it? He's had
shoulder.
Yeah, he's had a bad shoulder injury, and yesterday he received surgery out in a California hospital. It's a rather serious injury, and it was 2 types of surgery done at one time. And as of now, the doctor who operated said that it would be impossible to tell whether or not he will be able to get back, and it's his throwing arm, and whether that will return to normal. It'll be 6 months before, he'll be having therapy all along for the next 6 months. And he's a pretty key figure in the team. So we just thought if you didn't know about that, you might be interested in hearing it. How are Becky and Lowen doing?
Well, we hope you have a very Merry Christmas. We don't know much else to tell right now, so we'll sign off. We'll let the record finish it off with music.
Yeah, the best of holidays and lots of love to all of you. And we hope that Christmas is lovely for you in every way. We'd like to be together, but we'll talk to you, and we'll be writing. And one of these Christmases, we'll make it. Our love to you. Give Daniel a great big hug and a kiss for us. And have good, happy, blessed holidays. We love you all a lot. And now the music will take over. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, I noticed that.